Hello, everyone. I'm looking like this because my hair has been air drying, but we're here to sprint and be productive. Happy last day of the month, or whatever day it is when you were watching this. I hope you guys are doing well. So, it's a very rainy and gloomy day today, so I thought it'd be fun to do some sprints while I get some stuff done inside the house. Um, so that's why we are here. I think for this round of sprints, I'm going to do 45-minute sprints. And usually I do 30-minute sprints, but I think it would be easier to do 45 for everything I need to get done today. Also, I got my bangs cut and I'm just like needing to remember how to do my proper bangs when they air dry. I look like a mess. All that to say, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And I hope we all get cozy and do some reading or are productive. I'm starting these in my kitchen because my partner is having a nap in the bedroom, which is right beside the office, and I don't want to be a bother. But today I will be listening to the audio of Peregrine Quinn and the Cosmic Realm. I'm like 20 pages in and have been loving the audio so far. So very excited. Do let me know what your plans are for the sprints. Hello, Megan. How are you? I hope you are well. Hello, I am great. Thank you very much. I am looking a little rough, but I feel great. So, how are you? Do let me know. I hope you're well. I hope everybody is happy and healthy. So, yeah, we'll be reading this. I don't know if I'm going to read along physically. I had started a little bit, but the audio is like much better and there are no illustrations or anything in here. So I don't think I'm going to be missing much if I just listen instead. So I'm probably going to plop up on the earbuds and probably like take care of my disheveled appearance in the first sprint. So as I mentioned, 45 sprints I think are going to be the way to go, at least to start. If we think it's too much or not enough, then we can readjust. So yeah, are we ready to sprint straight away? I usually like to go in like with one sprint so we get stuff done and then we can come back and have a little bit of a longer chat. I don't know what I want. What was the 5-star? But also I know that feeling. I kind of had that when I finished Tress because I was just like sitting there staring at my shelves and I was like, nothing is gonna hit just as hard. So I decided to like not go for like adult fantasy or something like that, but not stray too far from it either. It's so hard to pick after like you had such a solid read. Do you have any books you are thinking of? Like, do you have a pile, a TBR? Like, what's the plan? Oh, a reading slump. How long has the reading slump been? Like, is it new? Have you read a little bit this month, or have you been in a slump for months? Because I feel like I've had both. I've had times where I'm in a slump for like a week or two, or then I have like month-long slumps. I don't really know what is worse. I know when I'm in a slump, I always like reread one of my favorites, which is always helpful. Yeah, do you have Oh, see, I have been eyeing that book because I feel like everybody, like my Facebook groups and everything have gone insane over Pen Pal. Is it dark romance? I'm not sure if I would like it. Like, I'm hesitant, and I know there was like a first print run limited edition thing, but then I heard it's dark romance. I don't do a lot of dark romance, but that was 5 stars for you? Now I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. So, do you think you'll do another romance, or are we straying from that? Hello. I hope you are well. Good Half Gone by Taryn Fisher. So I'm assuming it's a thriller. Is it horror or a thriller? I never know with Taryn Fisher. Are you like a good way into it? I have so many questions. Are we enjoying it so far? Oh. See, I didn't have those vibes at all when looking at that book, but then you read, I felt like it looked kind of like a Penelope Ward or like Vi Keeland book, and then I read the synopsis and it was like oopsie daisies and not it at all. And I slept for about a month. I have listened to some bits and pieces. Yeah. It's especially hard when you're on a timeline. Like if you have to return books to the library or something, I feel like sometimes it just makes the slump worse. Do you know what you'll pick up today? Like, is there multiple options? Not easy being in a slump. Thriller, very dark. Yeah, I've heard her books are pretty dark. 195 pages in. Dang. So I'm assuming you're probably like halfway through? If not, that's a long thriller. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now. I feel like I finished Trust and now I'm like, I actually need to get back to my like actual July TBR and especially my middle grade books that I want to review. So the plan for the next few days is to read Peregrine Quinn and then go back to Green Wild as well. I'm just not vibing as much with Green Wild than I am Peregrine Quinn. Like this is gonna be I'm calling it right now, like probably one of my favorite middle grades. I just have the feeling and like all the characters, like there's character art. I mean, look at them. Look how amazing and weird they look. I'm obsessed. But yeah, I feel like the end of the month is always when I'm like, oh, I should probably stop straying from all the books I'm in the middle of. Just under 300 pages. So you're very far along. You were literally, yeah. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it. I don't do a lot of dark books. I think my job is too dark that like I don't want to read dark stuff when I'm like home, hence why I read romance and middle grade because middle grade can never be just so dark. So I'll set up our first sprint for like in 2 minutes so that we can like easily keep track of time. And as I said, 45-minute sprint to start, and then if we think it's too long, we can readjust. But I clearly need to like get a hold of myself, and I would like to also be able to read a little bit of this during the first sprint. All In is part of the Natural series, right? Or is it her other All In? All In is Natural series. I should know. It's one of my favorite series of all time. Are you not enjoying it? Is it what is causing the slump? I read like those books so fast. So fast. But I know it's not a series that's for everyone. And yeah, it's tricky when the holds keep expiring because then you're like never done, and I think that might not help the slump. Okay, so I'll set it up and I'll see you guys in 45. Hello, friends. First sprint is officially done. How did we do? I didn't really do anything with my appearance, but I did read a little bit because I was really in the mood to read, and so I got to page 45. I'm like 2 pages away from being on chapter 7 of Peregrine Quinn and really loving it. This book is like one of the rare middle grade books that has multiple perspectives, which is really interesting. So let me catch up on all of the comments here. Yeah, I totally get that. And I feel like, especially with books like that Jennifer Lynn Barnes books, it's like something you kind of have to digest quickly. Otherwise, it kind of gets hard. So I totally understand. And like, life does indeed often get in the way of reading. I hope you finish it soon, though. Hello, hello. How are you? Hello, reading Fall with Me by Becca Mack. That's the 4th book in that hockey series, if I'm not mistaken. Are you enjoying it? I haven't read anything by Becca Mack yet, but I do want to. Hello, hello. Nice. We love a productive sprint. I feel like it's always so satisfying. I do think mine was somewhat productive, but also very slow. And also, my dog was really mad that I disturbed her, so she went to sulk on the other side of the couch. That's also kind of what I'm doing. I'm not really far into any of the books I was currently reading, but I am trying to get my middle grade books from previous months' book clubs out of the way. So we're starting with Peregrine Quinn, and hopefully before the end of my vacation, I can also get to Greenwild so that I can move on to August with a clean slate. Do tell us what is on the currently reading pile, though. I'm interested. Nice. Are you liking it? I actually just got, like a week ago, the book because I don't know if you guys do this, but like on Amazon, the old cover, like the author of that series passed away, but the old cover was taken down from Amazon for some reason. It was like violating the terms of Amazon. And there's a new cover for the series now. I unfortunately, like, I tried to order to get the old cover, but I got the new one. So it is what it is. I do like the old cover better, but let me know. Oh wait, no, I'm not. St. Abby, I'm talking about the author, but not. Is All the Lies part of that series with the FBI, or is that something else? Because I was talking about the series with like the FBI and the killer thing. But I don't know if she has other books. Loved it. I feel like she's a very popular author. It's unfortunate that she passed, but at least her memory lives on, and like her books are still being read. Yes, it's part of that series. Okay, I'm glad I wasn't just talking out of context here. Um, I think that's gonna be a like September or October book for me because I don't read a lot of spooky books, but I feel like a book like that with a little bit of romance could definitely be up my alley for that time of year. It's so rainy and cozy outside. It feels nice to not be in the sun for like one day. Hello, it's totally fine. I hope you are doing well, and I'm glad you are here now. Really? Which one? I didn't hear that. Because I think it's Mystic that did a bind up of the series, but it's the only one I've ever seen that did a special edition. we do love a good special edition. I'm finding it hard to keep up with book boxes now because I used to like follow all of them religiously on Instagram, and I used to follow Autumn on Instagram, but I think it like made me want all the book boxes, which is not a good thing. So I decided to like unfollow most of them because I hardly have any subscriptions anymore. But I love seeing all the pretty editions. They're just way too costly, especially if you're like international. I feel like for US people, it's a lot more like sustainable to be able to collect books. But Canada is very expensive, and like there's so much with like shipping and duties. There didn't used to be duties for like Fairy Loot and stuff, and now they've started asking us to pay duties, which you finished it already? You are on fire, my dude. Like, did you like it? I need to read it. But like, didn't you say you were starting that like 2 days ago? And you're already done? I mean, they already ship from the US. So like the warehouse is in the US. So from shipping from the US to Canada, I still have to pay duties. So that really sucks. I don't know with Illumicrate if it's gonna change something because like Afterlight is supposed to switch over and have a US warehouse as well. It's just Canada is always at the crap end of the stick when it comes to subscription boxes, and I know there's like a lot of other countries as well, but like compared to the UK and the US, unfortunately it's just not super feasible in the long run. Like, I don't know. And when they say like US and Canada warehouse, it's never in Canada. Like, plot twist, it's not here. You read that so quick. I am shocked by how you guys finish books so quickly. I am realizing with all of these sprints and talking to you guys that I am not a fast reader. Um which is fine, but like I feel like I used to read faster and my attention span is slowly dwindling. Yes, I really agree. I think I don't know why Al Create Jr. doesn't exist anymore, and like it's probably because like financially it wasn't doing as well. Um, but I will say I don't feel like Al Create Jr. did such wonderful customizations. Like I bought the special edition of Amari and the Night Brothers when it was on sale. They have this big like blowout sale, and I bought a couple of books. And the Amari book is supposed to be purple, but when you like make the difference between the two covers, like there's hardly a difference. So I wasn't like the biggest fan of Al Create Jr. But I do like sometimes I'm like I wish I had like the funds to start my own middle grade box because I would really love to start that kind of project of like having a middle grade book box with all the customizations kind of like you see with Fairy Loot and that kind of stuff, but for middle grade because one, children deserve pretty books, and two, a lot of adults read middle grade. So yeah, I get that. I feel like when you're really into it, it gets so easy to just read and you don't kind of realize you're reading. Um, nice. Two whole books? God, that's actually so impressive. Go you. And a 5 star. Nice. I definitely had like Tress of the Emerald Sea is definitely like I think top 10 for sure, if not top 5 books I've read in my entire life. So I didn't read a lot numbers wise, but quality wise was absolutely like the best readathon I've ever did. I'm also planning on starting Words of Radiance today, which is also by Brandon Sanderson. Oh my god, I'm sorry. This is so wobbly. And I dropped my post-its. But it is right here. I sectioned it off. I don't think you guys can see. I'm sorry. Like this. So there's, I think, 12 to read part one in 12 days is my goal. I don't know how overly ambitious I am because it took me like a whole year to finish Way of Kings, but we're not going to talk about that. That was a different lifetime. Um, but I'm really excited. So I should technically be reading, let's see, like 50 odd pages today. 56. I do have the audio for this though, so that shouldn't be too bad. It is wonderful. We love good reading weekends. I'm actually gonna have another one at the end of August. 24-hour edition. It's on my Patreon. I'm unsure though if I am gonna make this one public or just for my patrons, but it's in the works. But for sure, I think, what is the date of my next one? Let me grab that. I put up my patron calendar for the month of August. Let's see. On the 31st of August, I'm doing a 24-hour round. But there will be more public ones later in the year. But for Patreon, it's like gonna be a monthly or bi-monthly thing. And it is huge. And like this is part one because like the book is split in two, but like this is 650 pages and it's part one of book two. So the part two is as long. So the entire book is like 12 or 1300 pages, kind of like The Way of King, but I just decided like it's more manageable if you look at it like this and not an entire brick. Ooh, so close to your birthday. Nice. Happy early birthday, but I'm sure we'll talk again before then and I can wish you a actual happy birthday. Yeah, you should totally join. I love hosting these readathons because like it is the perfect excuse for me to actually sit down and read and not feel guilty about it because like if I'm hosting a readathon, I need to actively participate in my own readathon. Are we ready for another 45-minute sprint? I feel like 45 was a good amount of time. It gave me the chance to like do a few things and also read. So I do that again. I'm glad. Yes, it's a fun one. I think it's lacking a little bit of romance this month, but overall, I think there was a good amount of books there. I still need to answer comments. I know a few people commented on that TBR, but I have not had the time yet. It's crazy how time is flying for me, but I'm on vacation. I'm like, how am I doing with a full time job? I don't know. 45 is good. Perfect. So I will set it up and we can meet again in 45 minutes. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with this one for now, but I might do this one next sprint because God only knows it's gonna take me forever to read my 56 pages. So see you in 45. Hello, friends. Another sprint is done. Let me know how it went. I read up to page 74, chapter 11. Still enjoying it. Not much more to say. It's a really good middle grade. It's very fast paced. I feel like a lot has happened in a short period of time. I will also say that, like, the last 15 minutes, I took for a tiny nap on the couch because I am feeling a little bit wonky today. And with the rain and everything, I just kind of fell asleep. But I had put an alarm on to make sure because I was gone for good, you guys. I would never have come back to the sprint. Read 38 pages. Solid amount in 45 minutes. That's like almost a page a minute. Did you let us know what you're reading? I don't remember if you did, but I hope you were enjoying whatever it is you're reading. I don't know how many. I think I read about the same amount. I'm assuming almost 40 pages. Not sure. It's hard to keep track. I always forget what page I started the sprint on. But it's really fun to get to see. Like, I think we've had 3 or 4 perspectives so far. Ooh. See, that's a book I recently decided to unhaul. How are you enjoying it? Is it your first Emily and Henry? I'm assuming no. People rarely start with people we meet on vacation. Nice. So you're getting to the end. You're getting to the good part of Emily Henry's books. I feel like the end is always a banger. 61%, read about 11% since sprint started. Nice. That's good. You're over halfway. Are we still enjoying it? Was it a good 11%? You've read Beach Read. And as of now, out of the two, is there one you prefer over the other? Because I feel like they're very different. I said this time and time again, I will forever be a Beach Read girl. Never read Emily Henry, though I feel as though they're for me. Do you not read like romance in general? Well, I feel like Emily Henry's kind of like lick fit. I can't talk. Literary fiction with romance. But I still really enjoy her. But I do think she's not for everyone, especially if you don't like one or the other genres. A place called, I tried reading that book years ago. I know I had heard, I think it was Gavin, talk about it, but surprisingly, I never finished that one. But I've heard really good things about it. It's like the first of a 3-book series, I think. I didn't know they were on KU. Maybe not here in Canada, but good to know. Soft DNF'd it around 200 pages. I wasn't liking it as much as Beach Read. Yeah. I do really think Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation are so different in the writing. Yeah, I think my favorite remains Beach Read, no matter what. But Happy Place is a very close second. I still need to read, actually finish Funny Story because that's another book I was kind of like in the middle of, and then I don't know what happened, but I had to put it down for some reason. But I was really liking. I had read like 60 pages of that book, and I really, really was enjoying it. I think Emily Henry's writing is very like distinct, and you get that good vibe in Funny Story. But Happy Place, I sobbed at the end of that. Loved it. Loved it. Not big on contemporary romance though. Yeah. It I feel like Beach Read is like the easy recommendation, and Happy Place is also good. I think Beach Read wasn't what is interesting. It's mostly in the present. I don't think there are any flashbacks in Beach Read. Um, but Happy Place does have alternate timelines between the present and like college days for the characters. So some people are put off by that, and I think that's what I didn't love as much from people we meet on vacation. I found that the alternate timelines put me out of the story, whereas in Happy Place, I think it was a lot better done, and I really enjoyed it then. But I think the safe recommendation for Emily Henry is Beach Read for her adult books. I haven't really dabbled in her young adult stuff, but I would like to read some. I think there are more like a little bit with like sci-fi elements. They're a little bit different. Yes, Beach Read, a 5-star read. I feel like it would be very hard for me to read another of her books and love it as much as I loved Beach Read. But she's a great author. I love Emily Henry. I feel like she weaves such intricate characters and talks about such like genuine issues that I feel like everybody has gone through one way or another. And I always seem to pick up her books at the perfect time. Like 2020 is when I read Beach Read, and that book I think I love so much because of the significance it had in my life, and like that's why I love it so much. But I feel like she just hits always. Her releases are perfectly timed. Do you recommend Beach Read on audio or physical? I read it physically. Um, I don't know if her audiobooks are good. I will say I struggle with a lot of romance on audio. I feel like it's awkward for me to listen to romance on audio why instead of like reading it physically. I pretty much like audio for everything else, like middle grade fantasy books, sci-fi books, thrillers. um but romance for me is a little bit more difficult, so I would always lean but like in recommending the physical book. But again, it's just because I'm not a audio girly when it comes to romance, but I'm assuming it's good. I'm not usually a big fan of alternating timelines either, but I do want to try the 7 year slip. I need to get to Ashley Poston's adult backlist because I love like her Bookish on the Beast series. Like, what are they even called? Like, she has 3 young adult books that are based off different like Disney fairy tales. Like, there's those books are some of my ultimate favorites. I listen to them on audio all the time and I really enjoy them, but I still haven't ventured into her adult. I think I'm going to start with a novel love story, which is her most recent. I haven't heard the best things, but for me, I think it's the one that's going to like ease the transition between young adult and adult best. Um, but I've heard the like the most hype around her adult book for me has definitely been the 7 year slip. I feel like everybody talked about that one. The Den Romantics too, but 7 year slip really takes the cake, and I feel like everybody loved that book. I have never heard a single bad review of the 7 year slip. Read it physical too, yeah. Actually, I think I listened to Happy Place on audio. I did a tandem read of Happy Place and I really enjoyed that actually. It really put me in the story, and because it's not super like her books are not super smutty, that's usually puts me off of audio. So if you're a audio person, I think Beach Read could be good on audio. Alternate timelines is the thing that makes me softy enough. Yeah, it's not for everyone, and I think you have to have like a solid enough book that you don't mind hopping between timelines. I think another book that does that well is um, there's a young adult Christmas book that I read that did alternate timelines. Like you were reading the same, like the story was like happening at the same place in like 2 different timelines. Like it was like alternate realities kind of thing, and I loved it. But again, you have to have like a strong enough character and a strong enough like setting for it to work, or else you kind of like always prefer one timeline over the other and just it ends up being tedious more than anything else. 3.5 so far, I think. We'll see if the ending is good. I'd really be curious to see what your final rating for that one is. Let me know once you're done, if you think of letting me know, but you're very close to finishing, which is great. But 3.5, middle of the road, like it's worth reading. Maybe not an all time favorite, but 3.5 isn't bad. It's better than a 1-star book, that's for sure. Did we. Gone Girl is a thriller, correct? I think so. Yeah, I think it's a pretty popular. Is it the Gillian Flynn or something? Yeah. I think thrillers use this plot device a lot, and I think it's a very um, I don't know. For me, it just takes me out of the story most of the time. But it is very much used in the thriller books, which is kind of annoying. The writing is good, but oh wow, yeah. I feel like that perfectly describes a middle of the road 3-star book. That makes me so excited. Oh my god, maybe that's the one I'm gonna pick up next. I say that like I didn't say I needed to finish this and then read the entirety of Green Wild before anything else, but I am in a middle grade mood, so who knows what's gonna happen. But you did audio, right, for that one? I have the audio of the all the books for Scandar, so I think I'm gonna go that route. Well, tandem reading, but I think the audio really makes the experience even better. Um, 5-star. I'm so happy. I can't wait to hear all of your thoughts on it. I might even DM you once I'm done reading so we can talk about it because I don't think I'll be able to wait till the live show to know what you think about it. You did a switch off between physical reading and audio. Nice. I'm so excited. Oh my god. So it's even better than the first book then. I can't like even comprehend how it's going to be better, but I have a feeling in my bones that it is going to be better. So this really hypes me up. 5 stars. Yes. Are you planning on eventually getting to the third? I'm assuming you'll. I don't know if you're going to finish them off right now and just. Or wait until the next month for the read along. Because I feel like once you're invested in a series, it's kind of hard to stop. I think I will set up another sprint um in like the next minute if you guys are still down to sprint. Just because it's easy when we start at like 10 and then come back at 55. It's been going well. Yeah. I feel like that's the tricky part. You can always just like take notes down. That's what I do sometimes when I participate in like book discussions. Um, or I just kind of note what happens when so that I don't get mixed, like everything mixed up. Especially because I'm always scared I'm gonna spoil other people. That's kind of why I'm taking Scandar one book per month, even though I'm sure when I'm done book 2, I'm gonna want to like jump straight into book 3. But I'm glad you liked it enough to like want to keep going. Obviously, 5 stars is all good to keep reading. Fantastic. So, as much as I want to keep chatting, I gotta get stuff done. So, I will see you in 45. Hello, friends. Third sprint of the day is now done. Can't believe we've been on here for like 3 hours now. Tell me how this one went for you guys. I took a little bit of a break and then I switched to Words of Radiance. I got through the prologue. So now I am 19 pages in, and honestly, the audio just sucked me right back in. And I'm super invested. I actually take notes on the notes app of my phone when I read this, so that it's easier to discuss. But honestly, 19 pages not so bad. So I have like about 40 pages left for today. So I'm happy. I just kind of got into it. I think the first step in a book like this, like the first step of picking it up and starting it, is always the scariest. Had to go for a bit to figure out lunch, but was able to get another chapter read. Nice. I always forget that most of you are in an earlier time zone. I feel like I'm almost the only one here for who it's like 4 p.m. right now. I feel like a lot of the people who I talk to most commonly on sprints are earlier in the day, but I'm glad you got a chapter read. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you had a good lunch, because food is the best. I am so sleepy today. I can't believe I fell asleep before. Good thing I had a timer on, or I still would be sleeping on sprints, which is kind of insane. And also embarrassing. Imagine that if I had sprints on for like 6 hours of just me sleeping. That would have been awkward. It's also so warm today. I don't know if any of you guys are also stuck in this never-ending heat wave, but like even the rain is not bringing down the humidity or anything. It's just, I feel like I'm slowly melting away, and I'm almost missing the snow today. Not getting much reading done because every time I sit down to read, yeah, that's also the. I mean, these were reading and productive sprints, so you're being productive in a way. But I totally understand how, like, looking around your house, you're like, oh, I could probably do laundry, or I should pick this up, or I should clean the floors, and then you just end up not reading. It happens to me a lot. Best combination is audiobooks if you have any, but like also audiobooks are not always an option depending on the chores and stuff. But I totally understand. At least you're getting stuff done. Plus it's rainy outside, so like perfect day to get stuff done. Nice. 20%. 11 books for the month. That's amazing. I don't know how many books I read this month, but it's tiny number. But as I said, this month has really been serving to get my reading mojo back, because I hadn't read like a book in a while, which isn't really good for content creation or just for my mental health. So I'm really trying to get back into it. But 11 is a pretty solid number. Like, I feel like I think the best amount of books I read in a month was 10, 12, something along those lines. So that for me, that would be like best month of the year. Get all that. Yeah. I am just too much of an early bird. I'm more of a wake up early and read earlier in the day. After like 9 p.m., I am not at all productive in any shape or form. And I just feel like I don't like. See, it's like 4 p.m. and I'm already useless. But I just don't retain information as well. Even in school, like morning classes went great, and afternoon classes, like from 1 to 4 p.m., I was like, what are we even talking about? So I'm definitely like a morning person when it comes to like being productive or like studying, reading, whatever it is, even at work. When I have um like students come up to me for like the 3 p.m. for like my last session of the day, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not following your story. Like, I am not the best social worker after like 2 p.m., unfortunately. So I think on my end, I might have to go because it's already 4 p.m. And if we sprint again, it's going to start clashing with my other house duties. Um, but I don't know if anyone is interested in sprinting again tomorrow because it's supposed to be rainy again tomorrow. But I can always set up sprints for tomorrow, either morning or afternoon, if anyone thinks they're going to be there. If not, I might do sprints on a Friday evening. I'm not sure yet what the rest of my week looks like, but it is going by very fast. Ooh, wow. I'm assuming you're tired. Why would you wake up at 4 a.m.? The last time I woke up at 4 a.m. willingly was because I had an internship and I had like a 3 hour commute there and back. That was a shit year in my life. I loved my internship, hated how far it was. Um, I feel like 6 or 7 a.m. for me is prime time. I can't imagine waking up at 4. I mean, if you're like on a farm or if you have that kind of work, I'm assuming like you have to. So maybe you're not waking up willingly, depending on what you do. But like a good solid 10 a.m. morning sleep in must have felt very nice. Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. I'm sorry. I should not be freaking yawning. Oh, that's sweet that you actually get up with him. We love that. I'm assuming if he works so early that, yeah, on his off day, he probably needs the extra sleep, which is, wow, that's tough. Hard worker, I'm assuming, if he wakes up at that time. But you're so sweet for like actually getting up with him. That is the cutest thing ever. Should be able to sprint tomorrow or Friday evening. Perfect. I will most likely announce it on my community page, and if and when I decide um on when I'll sprint, I will like set up the sprint in advance. Wouldn't be able to join for Thursday, but if all your plans work out for the Friday evening, I'd be able to join in. Nice. So it probably will be Friday evening. I know my partner has like band practice, so we should be able to sprint for a couple of hours in the evening. Um, so I'll let you guys know, as I said, via like community tab or Patreon as well. I think both of you. Oh, yeah, either or you will know some way somehow. Um, and feel free to DM me if you have questions. So I'll wrap this up here and just say thank you so much for watching. It was really fun. I think I was really productive. I read a little bit of everything, was able to do a little bit of laundry, and had a 15-minute impromptu power nap. So love that for me. I hope you guys had some fun. Again, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll most likely see you guys on a Friday evening. Bye.